fine.
Well, ready? Go for it. Go for it. Give it to him.
No.
Bring out Gracie rubbing your...
Hey there, viewers, and welcome back to the Self-Made Auto Channel. See, you almost did it. So we got a broke down Honda, and it's a young fella who crashed his car and bought.
Not this young fella.
Not this guy. You don't even know how to drive.
Yes, I do.
So this guy who owns this car crashed his car a couple days ago and bought this car. His old car was an automatic. This car's a stick, and he was what I call learning how to drive, and heard a little snap, and now the car don't move. Thinks he broke the clutch. He tells me needs the car back ASAP. So little O is going to steer the car. Me and Mrs. O are going to push the car.
I'm just thankful that it's just a Civic and not a big honking truck or something.
Mercury, big Mercury.
Big old
They sound
Mercury.
big. So all right, here we go.
Truck.
Holy crap! Need more power. Okay. Whoa! Now it's not working. Well, it sounds like something's broke. Better shut it off.
What'd you do, Evan?
Alright. Woo! I'm out of breath. Alright, just get out of there. Just get out of there. You know how to take the key out of that?
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
What is this? I'm gonna keep it.
Well, they're a stick.
Keep
You
it,
gotta push it out. Let me shut them off. Oh, the frickin' hood power's broke.
Uh-oh.
Nah, the handle's broke. Which I conveniently have a video on. So, alright.
So glad it was a Civic.
Sucking wind.
Anything bigger, we would have been able to move it.
Oh, we could too with you.
Ah.
It's all you, Vanessa. Well, pushing it in, having the wild man drive it, there's some pretty good knocking noise in the right front. I've got some suspicions here in my noodle. So,
What's wrong with it?
it sounds like it's got a broken axle, to me.
What about the clutch?
I pushed on the clutch to start it for Evan, and it felt fine.
How come you didn't try and drive it in?
Because it doesn't move.
Oh, it doesn't move.
No. You think I'd have pushed it in for the heck of it one
I
more?
have no idea. I was wondering.
Well, could you hear the
I heard that.
and then the big pop?
Uh-huh.
I don't think the old Civic, though, with its 80-some horsepower, has really got enough lead in its pencil to break an axle, but let's find out. I think I see his problem, lady. Holy crap, biscuit! Oh, I've never seen that happen in my life. Well, at least not on a Civic. Yeah, the entire, let me just hang this up here so we can see. Hang on. Difficulties here. That is the CV axle. Completely twisted off. That's the inner joint. Wow. Must be a little heavy on the clutch. Holy smokes. That's what it's supposed to look like. Nice straight axle. Wow. That's a first for me. Looks like a pretty clean break too. You broke it.
What'd you do?
Ah, the customer.
That's it? That's all that's wrong with it?
Yeah, he didn't even
Let's see.
get, look at that.
How did it break? What happened to it?
What do you think I am, a freaking genie?
Something like that.
Yeah, I can't believe it didn't get any of the ABS wires or anything. Wow. Awesome.
Is the other one about to break?
I don't know. We'll fix this one and we'll find out.
Is it leaking oil?
I don't know. I don't know.
It looks like it.
Probably. It's a Honda.
Huh.
Yeah, she's a little damp.
What? Looks like it's more than
It's
damn.
undercoating, woman. Keeps it from rusting out, all right?
Oh, so I can just spray my car with
I don't
oil?
care what you do
Engine
in your
oil?
car.
Uh-huh.
I'd go get a new one.
Should I take it to another shop to have my timing belt done? Or my service because it's at 15%?
It ain't at 0. And when you get to 0, they go to -999.
Oh, so that's when you really have to do it?
That's what I
Is
assume.
that what you're telling?
Come on, get off my case.
What?
Your
That's why,
time,
that's why I bought AAA this year.
your timing belt will last 200,000 miles.
And if it doesn't,
And let's go out here and have a look. Come
you're
here.
gonna regret it.
Come here. Come with me. What's this? What's this right here? Huh? Look at that.
Right, like
Look at
that's
that.
the third one that you've had to order for my car because you used it on several other people's cars.
Well, they needed it. Look at this. Look, I got.
I needed mine
You
20,000 miles
You
ago.
can fix your door, fix your timing belt.
You could fix a lot of things.
Yeah, you just keep putting
There's
parts on
your
the
stuff.
shelf.
I was gonna put it in your truck, but you can take it right
Oh,
now.
thanks. Well, folks, I guess the problem here is quite obvious. You snapped an axle in half. I didn't think the old Honda had her in it. Apparently I was wrong. Maybe when you hit the VTEC and then you let the clutch out, perhaps. I've been doing this a long time. I've never seen one do that. So we'll see if we can't get a CV axle ordered up and pop it in there. They're pretty easy to do. So stick around. Oh, parts are on their way. Still waiting for my Harbor Freight half-inch gun. They're telling me January 2018 before they're out of back order. So that stinks. Let's see what we got there. 30, 32, something like that. Oh yeah, first try. 32 millimeters. Doo-doo-doo. Oh gosh, dang it, that was the old Astro jam here on the side. Sounds like Trinity's losing her mind in there. All right, free like Willie. Put the axle nut in our collection. Beautiful. Typically on the ball joint there is a cotter pin. Not on this one. Safety third for this guy, huh? There's one on the driver's side. There was none here, and both the holes are completely open. Well, we'll take and get Mrs. O out here. Grab the hockey stick. Pull the control arm down. You hate what job?
I hate pulling on the bar.
Oh, come on.
It hurts my flanges.
Jeez. Woman up. That's a woman up.
Let me grab my work.
Oh, your work gloves. Oh my God.
Huh?
So I'm just going to spin a nut on there. That's right. Mrs. O, when she's done complaining, is going to pull down on the hockey stick. I'm going to give her a couple little taps.
Is it gonna fall on my head?
No, it's not going to fall on your head. Put some meat on it, one. Son of a monkey!
That's all I got.
That's all you got, huh? That usually always works. See, these control arms, the way they're made, because they're made out of stamped metal, you can't really beat on it too bad. Usually this works. All right, give her the beans. All right, just a minute here. You're pushing over on my stuff. Let go, let go.
I'm so picky.
Well, I'm just trying to get it straight. Okay, go ahead. Nothing. All right, forget about it.
Okay.
We'll use one of our other fancy tools.
Right? Seriously. Why
Yeah,
are you
but
using all of
because
this
of the way it's designed, my other fancy
famous
tools
stuff?
ain't gonna work. Go sit that someplace, will you? You can only beat on them castle nuts so much before they get, you know, heated up. So be careful about that. The threads in them, for whatever reason, aren't very strong. Let me go get some other tools. I've got this $62.95 OTC front end service set, which I picked up a while ago and haven't used a lot, but they do have a ball joint separator, raised vehicle, blah, blah, blah. Oh, look at that, there's a spider. Just came down here. Where'd he go? Probably on me now. Let's see. It's also the guy, brand new, never even used it. Let's see how that works. I don't know if it's gonna fit this application. Yeah, it might. Eh? So I slip it in right underneath the boot. The idea here is to not ruin the boot. That's what we're hoping to achieve. Now this, I assume, is gonna put some pressure on that stud, hopefully without gnarring it up. Let me go get, what is that, 7/8 probably? Something like that. I got a flexi head. Grab a 7/8, hopefully I'm right on the first try. Oh yeah, not even close there, fella. Bear with me, folks. Where I got that from? That. What do we got here? Now I gotta get a different ratchet. 15/16. We'll just use this little ratchet here. Oops. I guess that's really not working how I thought it was gonna. Let's back her back off. Might have to go to plan B. Let's try this again. I got her in there a smidge further. Holy crap! That worked just like planned. Goes in, pushes up on it. She snapped loose. The boot didn't get ripped. I peed a little. Well, that's fun. I had to use a new tool. That worked. Ball joint's still intact. Boot is still intact. Let's see. And it did not damage the threads. And now, technically, ooh, there it is. There's half the little guy's axle. Let me get a bar. See if we can get the rest of his axle out. That's the other half. Guy did quite a number. Perhaps where this rubber sits on here, you know, perhaps the axle was whittled down. Oh, I'll be a son of a monkey. Is the axle designed like that? You see the taper to it? Or did it just rust and whittle away till it got to a point? That is the question, because we look inside this rubber and you see all the rust that's in there. Ah, yeah, there's a lot of rust in here. Can you guys see all that? Flaking away. Let me flake some in my hand. Off camera. So there's some big chunks that were inside there. So perhaps it wasn't this little guy's fault for dumping the clutch. Perhaps on this rubber dampener, it started to rot out underneath it, and then finally the axle broke in half. Welcome to New York, where even your axles rot in half. So his axle rotted in half. Now I've made an observation on new CV axles that I've gotten. Now look at that, she whittled right down to nothing.
Wait, this was all that was left, like right here? That looks like it's.
Well, yeah, I know, but look how thick the shaft's supposed to be. Look right here, it's got tapers. I don't
It's not
know.
supposed to be tapered?
No,
Are you sure?
positive. I want you to tell me something. I've made an observation while opening these about a certain odor that they have.
Oh gosh.
Take a smell. What's that smell like to you? Huh? Am I serious? I haven't told the people yet.
What? All the feds.
What do you think that smells like?
What are they doing at this factory?
Yeah, don't say no names, because we can't say whose name it is. But, what does that smell like? Isn't that weird?
Yeah. I don't understand. What makes it smell like that?
I don't know, but it's got the smell.
Maybe you should take out that cardboard and.
They all,
Yeah,
they all smell the same. I'm just telling you. I'll let you guys get a whiff. It's a very strong odor.
I don't understand. What does this have to do with the rotten CV axle?
Well, I'm thinking when they come over on the boat, they got a little something in the bag or in the box with them. Or are you asking me what it has to do with the CV axle video? I'm just saying the box.
No, you started this whole thing as like, look, it was rotten, and then I thought you were gonna show me like, look,
No,
it's
I
part of
wanted you to smell. I
engineering.
wanted you to smell the box because I knew you wouldn't believe me if I went in and said, "Hey, these CV axles smell like marijuana, like big time." Does it or does it not?
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah.
Why does it smell?
It smells like the sticky green stuff.
Yeah, like the good stuff. I mean, it's really sticky stuff.
No, stop.
I mean, I don't smoke marijuana.
But it doesn't smell like. Well, we'll just leave it at that. It smells like the green bud. We don't smoke the weed, but I'm just telling you, the boxes, they stink. Anyhow, I just wanted a second opinion on that to make sure I would.
You have like thousands of people who could give you their opinion on that.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. I just think it's kind of odd that every time I open up one of their boxes, and it's not just this particular brand, it's other brands that smell like that.
Oh, it's just CV axles?
Yeah, CV axles. Yeah, when you open up a CV axle box, a brand new one,
I wonder why.
I don't know. So I got it started, and we just got to get a little love
It's
tap.
got special lube inside these boots,
Something.
right?
Yeah, something.
So,
You make brownies out of the grease, right?
I don't know.
I got to get a strap. All right, people are gonna think you're a junkie.
Good job, Eric.
We don't even live in Colorado.
I think it's more safe than Colorado now.
Oh, I don't know. I don't keep up with the news. Mechanic woman.
So you got it out? Did you,
No, you're just
did
asking.
you
Yeah, I got that out.
destroy it?
No, of course not.
Wow. Easy.
Let me just tip the people up here. We'll just keep the camera on. Get her lined up. Give her a little love tap. Take the nut back on. I don't know why I put the nut on there, because it doesn't have any threads on the end. So perhaps somebody who's a material scientist can explain why these have such a distinct odor, I guess. So we'll give her a little tube of fluid film in there. Here's somebody back now. Must be tired delivery time. We'll stick our CV axle back in. Of course, we're gonna have to put a cotter pin back on this. Don't pinch your fingers. All right. Oh, where's my sock? There it is. So snug up your nut on the ball joint, castle nut, line up some of the holes. There's 4 holes in it. Put a cotter pin in there for safety. Ball joint appears to be good. We'll double check it with the tire on there. And we just gotta tighten down the axle nut. Oh, don't slip out on me now, fella. Put the axle nut, put our screwdriver back. Then we just gotta stick down the axle nut right in the groove there. Just like so. And I guess we're done. This is a whole lot cheaper than the clutch job he thought he was gonna get. I guess it's probably a good thing that it broke on him, you know, when it did, like taking off from a stop or whatever happened, as opposed to, you know, cooking down the road at 70, having the axle snap or whatever. Definitely appears to have been rusted out, that's for sure. All right, Alright, so we'll take her on a little toot around town, but I think we got it. The thing is with aftermarket axles, regardless of the brand, you gotta take it for a little shimmy to make sure it doesn't have torque wobble. And usually you'll notice that, like let's say it's usually a low speed, taking off from a stop sign, you know, the steering wheel will have a really, like, I don't want to say aggressive, but maybe semi-aggressive wobble where the whole car feels like, you know, like a dog wagging its butt, kind of, you know, just shimmies back and forth. And it usually smooths out with speed, and it usually doesn't get better, you know, if you got a used or aftermarket CV axle. Subarus are the worst. You know, we don't put any aftermarket CV axles in those. I'll buy the parts and just rebuild them. Brake pedal's almost on the floor. Jeez. Oh, there you turn the signal like this. There we go. And we made it back safe and sound. Well, there you have it, folks. Broken, rotted out, however you want to look at it. CV axle on your Honda Civic. I can't say I've seen it before. Taking a lot of axles out of these things, whether, you know, doing a clutch or ball joints or, you know, you name it. I can't say I've seen that, but I've also never pulled back that rubber dampener, which is usually, you know, fastened right to it. So the only thing I could figure is it got crusty underneath it, and then finally the rest is history. Oddly enough, though, the rest of the car isn't very rotted, so who knows? So maybe if you have a Honda Civic, you should cut that little rubber thing off and have a look. I don't know. But I'm sure it has its purpose, you know, to dampen vibrations. Perhaps the aftermarket ones don't have them, and they don't really seem to drive any different. And I guess that's it. Let us know why you think the box has that funky smell to it, and don't think anything less of me and Mrs. O. We don't touch this stuff, but, you know, we grew up. We know what it smells like. And I'll leave it at that. So find us on our socials. Questions, comments, criticisms, and concerns in the comment box below. Find us on Patreon. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't done that yet. Click the notification bell. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.